Do you consider yourself a social justice warrior?
I mean, I've been called that. My response to that is always like, so you're not about social justice? Or is that what you're saying?
Yeah, really.
But I do understand, I think when people say that SJW or whatever, they mean someone that's overzealous and hasn't thought things through and hasn't lived the experience that they're fighting for.
Yeah.
And those people exist. People that are just getting mad about everything and offended about everything on behalf of other people that aren't even offended, right? That's for real.
Yeah.
And I'm not one of those people. So everything that I stand behind, which aren't many things, to be honest, right? I've really pared it down to things that I can really stand behind. And so those things I've thought about, I've lived through, right? So they're things that are of me. They're not something that someone told me and I just took it on me and that's my belief now. I've examined my belief. So for me, yeah, I am about social justice, but I'm about human rights, really.
Yeah.
Right? So that's something that Malcolm X, who's one of my heroes, said in the past. And he said, the reason we haven't gotten anywhere in 100 years since slavery, this was in the 50s and 60s, he's like, is because we were fighting for civil rights. We should be fighting for human rights.
Right.
This is not, you know what I mean? This is a human rights issue that we're having in America. And actually, that's still true now. So I think the reason that when you go to the lower courts and you go to your national court and you're trying to find civil rights, that becomes it kind of cheapens the fight, right? So my fight is global, actually.
Yeah.
And so it's about human rights in general. And it's also about regulation. So this is where we sometimes kind of, because on one side, I don't want government to interfere, right? On the other side, I want things to be heavily regulated so we're all safe and people aren't double dipping, triple dipping, and doing all this stuff that they're doing.
Yep.
And polluting with impunity, without any expectation of any negative consequences. Corporations are doing. And so I'm kind of split there a little bit. But what I'm saying is mainly, I think that if we agree that the state has to exist, which I guess we do, we all kind of agree, right?
Yeah.
For now. If it has to exist, then it needs to regulate. Its job needs to be, first and foremost, the sanctity of the human life and the sanctity of the environment. Those things have to be balanced by the government.